Well, it's September, and that can mean only one of two things. Either or there's a new season of Kamen Rider. Spoiler alert, it's both. But with a new season of Kamen Rider comes a new Kamen Rider game that's not going to be out for at least another couple of months. But because it's based on the game we'll be talking about today, I figured we'd talk about the game I'm going to be talking about today, which is Kamen Rider Climax Fighters to the PlayStation 4. A game that brings the series, the Kamen Rider series of video games, I should say, back to the fighting game genre. Something that I personally had thought was completely lost because we hadn't seen a title like that since around 2012 while Wizard was still airing. So I was kind of happy. The end product, however, left me dissatisfied, just in certain areas. Maybe it was due to a lack of complexity, or maybe I just expected more out of it. Mind you, that's not to say it's a bad game. We're going to get into it, obviously, but it is a game that's harder to recommend to people outside of the Kamen Rider fandom. Like, if you don't already love Rider, you might not give a crap about this unless you can get it like really cheap. But you know, with that said, you know, let's talk about the game's story. Now, it is worth noting, mostly because of the quote-unquote story of the game, that this is actually the first Kamen Rider game to see an English release. Like, you know, still in Japanese voices anyways, but all the text, English. You can buy this game and actually understand what characters are saying as long as they have text under whatever they're saying. And that's actually really great. Although it comes with this kind of crappy side effect of confirming my suspicions. Because all these years I've been playing Kamen Rider games thinking, oh man, they must be saying such important stuff over there. Like, I don't know, Kamen Rider Decade and Double, they're having a conversation. What if they're talking about like the world's fusing and all this stuff? And I don't understand it because I'm a baka. But it turns out they just talk about like really menial shit. This brings us to the game's story mode. There is no story mode to this game. So that idea just kind of went out the window. What we get instead is a mission mode, which is, as its name would suggest, a series of missions in which the Kamen Riders do talk to each other, like in a story mode. But there is no overarching plot. There's no villain they must defeat, or even like, oh no, it's color swapped Kamen Rider Decade, and we gotta fight him. I think they did that in the first Climax Heroes game. Actually, I don't remember the name. Evil Kamen Rider Decade, regular Kamen Rider Decade, more pink Kamen Rider Decade. But yeah, none of that. It's just, you know, them mostly shooting the shit, trying to find a reason, just like really trying to find a reason that they can fight each other. Like, no one wants to talk out their problems. They just want, no, let's do this now. For example, you might have Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider Blade, and Kamen Rider Decade, and, you know, they're all hanging out, and then one of them comes to the shocking conclusion that, wait a minute, all three of us use cards in junction with our transformation devices or weapons or whatever. We should beat each other up. And then they do. And then when you win, you do the next mission, where they find some other menial thing. Kamen Rider Beast likes mayonnaise. We need to kill him. It's the dumbest shit. I wish the game was in Japanese, frankly. Now, despite this, it's not to say that the mission mode is bad. It's decent for what it is. It also allows you to unlock some cool things for your avatar, which will come more into play into the game's online mode, which we'll get into. It's a train wreck. But that's really it. I mean, you do all the missions, and then once all the missions are done, you're done. There's nothing else to unlock in the game. There's really nothing else to do, as we'll get to soon enough. I think we should go over the basic core gameplay mechanics, because that's usually something I talk about earlier, but as the story kind of bled into mission mode, that's why this video took so long, because I was like, well, what do I talk about first? And so I decided to go with that. But let's talk about how the actual game controls, because The core mechanics are rather different than previous Kamen Rider fighting games. As for these core mechanics and controls overall, they're absolutely fine. You can walk or run around, you can dodge and guard, you have a light attack and a heavy or a special with you being able to do variations on these moves by holding the analog stick back or forward, left or right. So as an example, with Kamen Rider Exade, forward and special will perform Gekito's robot's critical strike or critical finish, whatever. While left and right will do his standard critical type strike. Exade was like 2 years ago. I can't be expected to remember all this shit. But yeah, that gives you a general idea. Or like maybe you're punching by just hitting the button, but if you do something else, you'll use a weapon. You get the idea. Sadly, unlike with the Muso games, or even previous Kamen Rider fighting games, you can't actually access most of the forms for each rider. You just kind of do it while you're doing combos. Like you'll do a combo and then, I transformed into Kaizoku Resha. Or I just transformed into Hot Gatling because I was in the air and hit the attack button. But you can't actually manually change between these forms, which is a shame because that was really one of my favorite things to do. The other aspect of the gameplay comes in the form of these two gauges. One, the circle gauge, when full, will allow you to either activate a special attack or a special form very briefly. While you're in this form or attack, you have super armor and do more damage, so it's helpful. Except for builds, which he just jumps across the map, so not everyone's a winner, I guess. Now, the other gauge is for your final form. In this state, your character has full super armor. It might be like temporary super armor on the circle form, as I'll call it. And can pretty much destroy everyone. You, of course, get some new specials and better normals to work with, as well as a very damaging super. Yes, balanced this game is not. At the very least, the game is fun. I think everyone can agree on that. You know, it's not balanced. It's kind of stupid. The 4-on... God, I didn't even mention this yet. They decided to spice things up with this game, and instead of it being a one-on-one fighting game, or even a 2-on-2, but like you don't control both characters at the same time, they made this a straight-up free-for-all. So you can have 4 separate players playing this game simultaneously, and it is a complete mess. Like, I can't stand it. When there's more than 2 characters fighting, it's the worst thing, honestly. It's a very messy fighting game. When you have that many people going up against it, that many people trying to do Kamen Rider special moves where everyone's flying in the air, kicking each other. It's just it does not add to the balance of this game that was already not very balanced to begin with, frankly. So yeah, don't really care for that. Although if you want to experience it, you can go to Free Battle. Speaking of Free Battle is one of the only other modes this game actually contains. As its name would suggest, it's just a simple free battle. You can choose up to 4 characters to duke it out in any stage you wish. If you decide to use all 4 character slots, have fun with the clusterfuck. You might be able to put on the CPU for everyone, including yourself, so maybe you could just watch. That could be fun. But otherwise, that's that mode. That may as well be training mode, mostly because the game doesn't have a training mode, so that's as close as you're gonna get. And then we have options, which, yep. And then we have the only other mode that's in the game, which is saddening for reasons you're about to see. And that's the online mode. Now, in theory, online Kamen Rider game, that's great on paper. You know, you have Kamen Rider fans all over the world. What if they could play the game together? Bring everyone together. Sadly, that's a pipe dream. Because the online's not very good. It's bad, actually. When I remember my first match like it was yesterday. Mostly because I recorded it. You're seeing it right now, and like I was full of hope. You know, I was starry-eyed. I was like, oh, playing Kamen Rider with fellow Kamen Rider fans. How much better could things get? Everyone, these people, they get me. They're one of me. They're a complete fucking dork, just like I am, and they love Kamen Rider, and they bought this game. This is gonna be great. But you may notice the game is running at a frame rate of negative something. I'm guessing, not, you know, your standard 30 or anything like that. It was a little laggy, if we're being honest here. It wasn't the ideal first match I had anticipated, but I dealt with it, and you know, I tried to play through it with Kamen Rider X8, who I believe to be OP. So just throwing that out there. That's my tier list. Kamen Rider X8. Just pick him. But yeah, I trudged through the muddy waters of this laggy match, and I thought I was going to lose a couple times there, even though I wasn't really sure what was going on at all. But somehow, I managed to get the first kill. I was overjoyed. I was filled with happiness. Overjoyed suggests that. I got my first kill in my first online match of Kamen Rider. Maybe I can win this match. And then, just as I was thinking that, the other person disconnected. Because apparently, this person is a fucking scrub. Now, I don't know if that's indicative of everyone in the Kamen Rider community who also happens to play fighting games, but I calls them as I sees them. So yeah, that's the online mode. I did try a couple matches after that. Had surprisingly similar results. It was eerie. Even tried a couple months after that, and still really not much of an improvement. And that's so depressing. Because at that point, I had already completed the mission mode. In fact, I had already gotten the platinum for the game. Do you want to know how long it took me? 1 day. Because it's not like there are a ridiculous amount of missions to play. Free battle is going to keep your attention for like 5 minutes. The online play is going to make you want to not play the game at all. Options is kind of nice, I guess. It's at the very least not offensive, but there's no story or arcade, no training mode, no real incentive to even try and get better at the game. It's I don't know. And the fact that we're getting a follow-up to this game has me worried. Like, what if the next game is also just completely lazy on the gameplay front? It was just, like, here's mission mode and online mode and free battle and options and have fun, buy it. Like, I'm scared to death that's what it's going to be. And, you know, only time can tell. Ha. Geo joke. But I'm really worried, to be honest. But yeah, I've needed to say my piece on this game for a while now. I'm sorry if I got a little rambly there. But it's honestly bugged me. I feel like when Bandai wants to, they can make amazing games. And I just feel like in the case of this, they didn't want that. They made a good game, but they didn't make an amazing game. And for their return to fighters, the gameplay just kind of, it's a disappointment. My very obvious sadness aside, how's the presentation? You may be wondering, even though if you're still watching the video at this point, you probably know what the game looks like. Well, I'm happy to say that the presentation is pretty good, and that this is probably the best looking Kamen Rider game to date. Character models look great. The rider suits look exactly like they do in the TV show. Recreating the suits is something Bandai seems to really excel at. There's a nice shine to the suits as well. They animate pretty good. It's cool seeing them do their specials, and of course, their eyes are all lit up, which is always a nice touch. You know, when they forget to light up the eyes, it's always a little, makes me sad. But lit up eyes, good stuff. Stages also look pretty nice. They look like either expansions on stages that were in older Kamen Rider fighting games, or modified stages that were based off of one of the Muso games. But either way, they're indicative of Kamen Rider and some of its memorable locations, or at least places where Toei would probably film. So that's also nice. The music is decent as well, with the game actually including tracks from the older Kamen Rider fighting games and allowing you to use them in matches if you want. Which, that's neat. Now, there was also a premium sound release of this game that was only released in Japan, mind you. You couldn't get, English subs and the Japanese premium sound edition. But the premium sound edition, the only difference between that and the regular edition is that premium sound edition comes with theme songs from the show, maybe insert songs, stuff like that. So, the kind of songs you would really want to hear in the game, but they're making you pay more for it just because Bandai's got to do what Bandai's got to do, apparently. They started doing that with Gundam, too, didn't they? Sucks. Anyways, I usually go for the premium sound edition because I like to support Bandai in their endeavors and, support Kamen Rider as a franchise overall. But I did not do that with this title, and I'm really glad I didn't because it would have been a complete waste of a complete waste of money. So, yay me. But yeah, even if you just get the standard edition of the game, the music's fine enough. Yeah, Excite from Kamen Rider XA, that's a great theme song. Most of the theme songs are pretty great, and it would be cool to hear them in battle, even if they're only going to let you hear about maybe a minute 30 seconds of the song, like about TV size, really. Which I hate, by the way. Just put the full song in there. You made me pay how much more for this? Put the whole song in there. You can afford it. You own the fucking song. Anyways, yeah, the music, it's good for the most part. Better with the premium sound edition, but fuck the premium sound edition. The game looks nice, so that's nice. But that is Kamen Rider Climax Fighters for the PlayStation 4. My god, I've been almost talking about this for 20 minutes. Christ, I can go off on a tangent when I want to, damn. But I'm going to be upfront with you all. I love Kamen Rider to death. You should all know that if you follow me on Twitter, or... Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you really know. You just know. I love it. I love posting clips. I love retweeting cute shit, fan art. I love Kamen Rider to death. It's one of my favorite things ever. That said, I don't think I can recommend this game to people outside of the Kamen Rider fandom. If you also love Kamen Rider, you're probably going to enjoy this game. I would still wait for it to get cheaper before you check it out, but you might have fun with it. Again, I got the trophy in one day. And like I said before, it's not a bad game. It's just, in terms of something that's going to keep you busy for a while, in terms of a lot of content, this just isn't it. And realistically, as far as fighting games are concerned, you can do a lot better. I mean, this is just some party fighter that's based on the Kamen Rider IP. Go get a normal fighting game, like Tekken, or Street Fighter, or King of Fighters. Because I remember King of Fighters, was it 14? Sorry. King of Fighters. No one ever remembers the thing. Which is a shame. But, yeah, just, get one of those. You'll be better off. You'll have a better time. There will be more things to do. Although no one's playing King of Fighters online. So, heads up. But yeah. I want to thank you all for watching this long, rambly video. We haven't even got to End Slate yet. This is going to be the worst thing ever. But thank you all for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Even though, really, I don't remember the last 20 minutes of my life. So I don't even know what I said. I mean, I'll listen to it back when I'm editing the video, but I could have said anything. That said, me saying, this has been Yuriofwind, a video on Kamen Rider Climax Fighters. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Hello everyone, welcome back to End Slate. It's been so long, hug. Welcome back to End Slate. I hope you enjoyed the new video on Kamen Rider Climax Fighters for the PlayStation 4. This video took way too long, and then coincidentally ended up being too long of a video. What are you gonna do? But welcome back to End Slate. It's been a little while. I've been sick most of the month, vomiting a lot. Still, I did that earlier today. also. Though in my downtime, I've been preparing for Halloween, so the month was not completely lost. But let's try and do things in order. It's been a while since I've insulated. One, if you can hear like a fan in the background, that's the PS4, because after this video goes up, I plan on streaming for a little bit. If you want to come by Twitch and check out Lay Stream, that'd be cool. Don't know what we're streaming. We'll find out, or I'll find out. I don't know yet, but I'll find out. That said, I do hope you enjoyed the new video. Even if Kamen Rider isn't your cup of tea, we are jumping right into Spooky Finger Puppet Ghost Month. So I hope everyone's prepared for the fright. I guess to get the basic stuff out of the way, if you like the video and you want to like it or subscribe, that's cool. You're not really forced to do that though. It's nice, but you know, I'm not gonna force you to do that. I can't force you to do that. Let's see. I have that Twitch, so I don't know. That's your call if you want to come out, hang out. I have a Twitter, Facebook, social media stuff. That's on the side of the screen. Normally, well, when I say normally, I mean that one other time. You see scrolling patron names, but since this was such a long video, this is gonna be hey, let's thank people, because this video was long, and if you sat through it to this point, frankly, you deserve a thank you. I should mention, although I'm not good at it, nor am I ever comfortable with doing so, but Patreon, you're about to get some thank yous, everyone. Hold on to your seats. But I should also mention that I forgot how to speak English. I'm sorry about that. It happened very suddenly. But if we hit the next Patreon goal, which we're close to doing, if we hit that before Halloween, I'll be doing a bullshit creepypasta story time on the remake of Sonic.exe, because for some reason it was remade, yet it's still terrible, because of course, because you can't live in a world where that story is good, because that would create a time paradox. We'd probably all implode. It'd be a real bad scene. But yeah, I thought I would throw that out there. If that's something you'd like to see, consider supporting Patreon, or if you just want to support the Halloween special, which I've already I believe given the dossier out on Patreon. More specifics will be given as we approach each individual video. But yeah, with that out of the way, I believe it's time to say some thanks. There's a lot of lovely people to thank who have been very supportive and patient with me over a long fucking time, and the least I can do is thank you using the velvet dulcet tones of my crappy voice. So with that in mind, from the bottom of my heart, thank you Skinny720. Thank you Deshaun Lewis, aka Shadow Wolf 720. Thank you Rodrigo Dares. Thank you, Ragnar the Green, who's also the person in charge of the Discord, I believe. Or was that might have been passed. There might have been a torch passing. I could have missed it. Sorry if I fucked that up. Needless to say, thank you, Ragnar. Thank you, Queen Sapphire. Thank you, Funding Yuri's Hair. Thank you, Snooper. Always appreciated. Thank you, Lily Starflame. Always appreciated still. Thank you, Mr. Mohawk. Thank you, Arja? Is that it? Or is it Arba? I need new glasses. Arya. It's Arja, Arya, or Arya. I literally can't see. Oh my god. We'll do Arya for now. If I got that wrong, feel free to yell at me. Your God-given right. Thank you, Matthew Newitt. Thank you, Mark Ryan. Thank you, Jamie Thrashhawk. Thank you, Cube Erder. There's going to be a lot of screw-ups on my end. I was supposed to see my eye doctor last week. I didn't get a chance to. Thank you, Tara Stray. I'm sorry about that. This is going to be a lot of sorries and thank yous. Thank you, Kami Muri. Thank you, Kevin Regan. Thank you, Michael Holder II. Thank you, Airman. Sorry, I almost called you Armin. Attack on Titan on the brain. Thank you, Brian. That's like Armin. Thank you, JJ Summers. Thank you, Nikki Lehman. Thank you, D-Man's Land. You're always there. It's much appreciated. Salute. Thank you, Nolan. Not North. I'm sorry. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Andrew Arana. Thank you, Crunchyface. Thank you, Fernando Silva. Fernando, MVP, randomly gives me card codes for, like, PlayStation. I love you, man. Thank you so much. Above and Beyond. Tiger also went above and beyond. We haven't gotten to that part of the list yet, but even so, some of you go above and beyond. It fucking blows me away. But thank you, Beautiful Yoshi, and thank you, Nat Potter, Sean Carter. I thought that rhymed for a second. I was gonna be all stoked and stuff. Thank you, Blinker002, Sebastian Zavala. Yeah. Thank you, Justin Thompson, Rad R, which I almost confused with Fat D, so I apologize for that. Thank you, Nikki Batelli, Chaotic Turtle. Is it Chaotic Neutral Turtle or just Chaotic Turtle? Now I'm curious. But thank you, Joel Segura. Thank you, Andrew Silverman. Thank you, John Garcia. Thank you, Zachary Alexander. Thank you, My Other Kitty is a Tiger. MVP donated while I was streaming. Thank you again so much. Can't fucking stress that enough. Thank you, M8S4M0. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll be honest with you. But thank you, May Madison and Michael P, as well as Frey684. Yes. Thank you, Lennon Walrus. Thank you, Polka Matic. Thank you, Link the 8th. Thank you, Kyle Nicholas. Thank you, Jameson Wiley. Thank you, friend Carrick. Yeah. Thank you, Alec Dixon. Thank you, Chrome Party. Chrome's a party. Thank you, John Paul Hoare. I got your message about, or no, it's a comment about not hearing your name. But hey, said it again. Whoops, knock something over. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Thank you, Darth Penguin, Mitchell Shore, Abdul Kareem Torres, the Wheels on the Bus Go Die, Greg Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Bowler. Thank you, Sergio, M Gamers, Mio Kuroshima, Escape Route British, Rory O'Carroll, Kenpachi Ramasama, Anthony Mang, Fat D. Can never forget Fat D. Or Eric Camarocho, or Jonathan Klaus, or Ryan Cole. And thank you, Jacob Epler, and thank you, Tessie Desu. Oh god, that name. Well, thank you still. Much appreciated. And thank you, Problematic, and thank you everyone else for the support you show me, both on Patreon and in general. You're all wonderful people, and it's much appreciated. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I hope you enjoy the videos I have planned for Halloween. I kind of feel like I have to throw up, so that's not cool. But yeah, everyone have a great night. 10-minute end slate. Someone's really pissed right now, but that's okay. I'll see you all next time on End Slate. Love you all. Ta-ta.